noble in the streets, savage in the sheets.
Yeah.
Too much Energon.
Hooray! You're Silverbolt.
For God's sake, these upgrades come with a warranty.
Blah 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 blah. Beast Wars once and for all.
Cheetor, what have you done?
I am giving this episode no Energon.
What
Yeah.
are you, a Quintesson? This is no Energon. Fuck it. I can't.
Sigma balls, Gary. No, not that. Ah!
Welcome back, listeners, to episode 71 of Too Much Energon, the podcast where we talk about Beast Wars shit and talk shit about Beast Wars. I am one of your hosts, NeoCal.
And I'm the other guy, the Siege.
Mr. Siege,
Yes,
episode 2 of season 2,
indeed.
Savage Noble.
Very much so. It is.
I kind of scoffed at the title after I finished the episode.
It is both noble and savage.
Yeah, you can be both.
Yeah, you can be both.
Get you a man who can be both.
What's going on lately, Cal? What's going on in the world of Caltopia?
Dealing with some Caltopia stuff, doctory stuff, medicine-y stuff.
Right.
It's been a thing. Yeah. Looked up one of the side effects or rather my partner was like, oh, one of the side effects can be like facial tics or like twitching or kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, that's great. How about I've already been there, so let's do it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, wasn't the medication you were on before, like, didn't it cause it? And you were like, well, fuck that.
Yeah, and it wasn't doing anything for me. So let's find this out.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't have maybe this new journey will unlock some sort of like alternate beast mode where my main form is a beast mode, and then when I go beast mode, I just get bigger and breathe fire or something. I don't know.
Speaking of beast mode and breathing fire, I gotta mention, I am today running on 3 hours sleep. At the time of recording, it is about 7:30 p.m. and I have been awake since about 2:30 a.m. Once again, on 3 hours sleep.
Marathon streaming?
No.
Just dying.
Just couldn't sleep. Woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't get back to sleep. I have medication that would have very, very quickly put me out for a long time, which was the problem because I had to get up at 5 a.m. to get ready to go to work. And if I had taken my meds, it would have knocked me out. I might have been able to get up in like 2.5 hours time, but I would have been impaired, like legit, 100%. My medication that I'm on gives, because it's a like heavy duty sedative, it gives me what I like to call a massive sleep hangover. And if I wake up too early, like I literally I'm lightheaded, like I have trouble like maintaining balance, like it's a pretty strong drug.
It's something you should be knocked out for. Yeah.
It's something that yeah. There was a day the other day at work, I made the mistake of taking some cutting my dose down because I'd woken up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, I want to go back to sleep, but I got to work in the morning, so I got to get up in a few hours. So I took like a quarter of the dose that I usually take. I still woke up, like I was able to get up and go to work and everything, but I was so impaired, like I actually wasn't. I'm like, I'm not going to operate any heavy machinery like our like power jack or our forklift, because I feel like I am technically impaired right now.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, I forgot that you sometimes whip around in a forklift.
yeah, and operate like a big power jack. And
Did you have to get any like certificate or anything for that?
I am certified, or I was. It expired now. I was certified to drive a forklift for a few years there. That's expired
But
now, but
by now, obviously, you can use it, so they don't give a fuck.
yeah, pretty much.
Awesome.
And if anyone whose job it is to check up on any of that and verify people's like forklift tickets are like current and up to date, just pretend you didn't hear anything.
He already has it. Yeah.
Yeah, I already have it. Those things last forever, right?
Yeah. It's like surfing it right, like alcohol certification.
Or like
I got
food
that when I
safe.
was 19, and I can serve alcohol for the rest of my life, right?
Or like food safe.
I have food. Yeah, I got food safe like 10 years ago.
I got
What could
food.
have possibly changed?
I got food safe in 2001. And yeah, at the time of recording, it is 2022. So it has been 21 years.
What could have possibly have changed? Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the basics I imagine are still the same. Because because I completely remember everything that I learned in this course that I took 21 years ago
Everything.
when I was
It's like riding
16
a
years
bike.
old.
It's like
That I
riding a
pa-
bike.
that I didn't even 100%. I passed with like, I think my final grade was like 87,
Nice. Just enough.
which I think is like a B plus or an A minus.
It's
think
an
it's a B.
A. Yeah, because you need 86 or more to get an A, right?
It's either a B plus or an A minus. I'm looking it up.
A minus. My money's going with A minus.
A minus grade percentage.
We live in Canada, so we have might be different from wherever you're from.
No, it's a B plus. 87 to 89% is B plus. A minus is 90 to 92%, and an A is 93 to 96%.
You're right. Damn.
So
Huh.
what about the other 4%? Or the other 3%, 4%, 97 to 100. Can you tell math wasn't my strong suit?
So no 90% in math. Oh.
No, I got through math in high school with like because I'm bad with numbers and I'm not great at math in
Allergies.
general, but I'm a smart enough guy that I was able to like pick up on it enough to pass. I think I completed math with like a high school math with like I think a B, which is good enough in my books.
Yeah, I took I had dropped out of like grade 8. Sorry, grade 7. Tried to stick around through grade 8. Dropped out again in grade 9. Moved. Sorry, grade 10. I missed like years here or there.
I only have my grade 10.
And I moved.
Ricky, do you remember that episode of Trailer Park Boys where like Ricky, I can't even remember why, but Ricky is like talking about his education. He's like, I only have my grade 10.
Yeah.
As if that's some kind of accomplishment.
Well, I mean, if everyone else dropped out before then,
I guess, yeah.
then he's a smarty pants. Yeah, sorry, I keep touching my eyes and muting myself to to sneeze. I got some allergy. Too much allergens going on here.
It happens.
Anyways, long story short, I took Math 11 twice, and the first time I took it, C plus. Second time I took it, like B.
I was expecting it to go down. First time I took
Second
it,
time
C
I took it,
plus.
I failed.
Second time I took it, I got a D.
Womp. Yeah, so math was never my strong suit because I missed fundamentals throughout school, but I did graduate high school. I'm like Fry from Futurama. It's like, hey, I'll have you know, I'm a college dropout.
Yep.
As if that's something to brag about.
I'll have you know that I did not complete university.
Same.
But I didn't complete university because of a technicality, which I won't hang on to too long, but basically I was being funded by student loans, and my school for an entire year just didn't confirm my enrollment with the government. And I didn't find this out until after the fact, and the government was like, yeah, so we gave you like thousands of dollars for an entire year of school that you didn't attend. And I'm like, what? I attended. And they're like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, but yes, I did. And they're like, well, your school says that you didn't. And I'm like, what the fuck? And at the time, nowadays, I would definitely like fight something like that tooth and nail.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, oh, well, I guess there's nothing I can do about this. So ended my my academic career. Also, look at all the gray hairs. I'm noticing a lot of gray hairs.
Are we checking out our?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's so dark in my place. You can't see any of mine.
Apologies to the audio listeners, but on video, I'm just noticing I did something different with my hair today, and
Suddenly
I'm noticing like a ton of gray hairs. Jesus Christ!
It's because usually goes front back, right, where you have only a set amount that you can see, but sideways, all of a sudden you can see all the.
Yeah, like you can see tons of gray right here. Like, wow, Jesus Christ! I mean, I am 37 now. Also, actually, speaking of birthdays, I want to special shout out to Dan from What the Famicom. Just celebrated a birthday.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed that. I missed the shout out.
I discovered. I was listening to the latest episode of his podcast, which go check that out. What the Famicom. He does it with his. Dan does that show with his friend Nick. It's always a hoot. But on the latest episode, he mentioned that his birthday, I think, was January 19th or January 18th. Yeah, and I was listening to it yesterday, so I tweeted at him. I'm like, happy belated. Fellow Capricorn. I think he's the same age as me, too.
Oh, just a few days apart.
Yeah. Just like a couple weeks younger. If I'm wrong, Dan, let me know.
Who is inevitably and assuredly listening.
Well, he does listen to this show.
Yeah, no, he checks us out here and there. Yeah.
That's how I found out about him, was he started listening to this show and then reached out to me.
Yeah.
And eventually
he's like, what the fuck? Yeah, the story.
Yeah, he appeared on episode 50 of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
And he was just like hanging out, and he was like, man, fucking Beast Wars. Are there any podcasts about that? And sure enough, he found the foremost Beast Wars and Beast Machines podcast.
I actually discovered recently that there are several other and have been a lot more Beast Wars podcasts than I thought. Because I got the Too Much Energon Twitter account got mentioned by Candace Santora. Shout out to her. She's been on a couple episodes of the show too.
Yeah, I saw that, and then you tagged me.
Yeah, and then I tagged you. But quite a few of the accounts that she mentioned were other Beast Wars podcasts, and I looked them up, and most most of them didn't even finish their run. It's like they did like, you know, like 10 or 15 episodes and then just stopped like 3 years ago, and they just stopped. Um but most of them like don't even have discoverability on iTunes, but we do. Like you type in Beast Wars and like we're one of the first things that comes up on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. So I think we might actually be one of the most like listened to Beast Wars podcasts out there. Go us. I don't think I ever actually mentioned this on the show, but we cracked
I
the
patted myself on the back, audio listeners.
no
Video listeners know I'm lying.
no we quite a while ago actually, and pretty consistently, like we crack the top 100 in the Apple Podcasts Canadian app iTunes store for the TV reviews podcast category.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we crack the top 100 of that category almost every month. So
take that.
yeah,
People do listen to us.
people do listen to us. Yeah, shout out to all of you.
So
Definitely, definitely more than 7 of you.
that's right. We always joke that there are 7, but there's more.
Oh, no, there's.
Oh yeah, we forgot to shout out our Turkish listeners in a long time. That was an inside joke that we used to do like a year ago.
Yeah, probably more than a year ago, because very early on, like we got listeners from Canada and the US like almost immediately.
Yeah.
But we also weirdly had like 3 listeners in Turkey. Very, very early on.
Yeah.
So we used to joke about the Turkish, shout out to the Turkish listeners. We don't get downloads from Turkey anymore. I'm sorry.
They didn't
to
like
say.
the shout outs.
No, they didn't
No.
like attention being called to them. Anyway, speaking of attention being called to people, this is episode 71 of Too Much Energon, as Cal mentioned earlier. And this week on Too Much Energon, we are talking about the 15th episode overall of Beast Machines, Savage Noble, which originally aired on August 19th, 2000. This episode was written by Len Wein, who is probably best known as being the creator of Wolverine.
Ah.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
He actually passed away not too long ago. So 2017, yeah. He died September 10th, 2017.
I remember people sharing that.
Yeah. Wow, that fuck. 2017 was 5 years ago, my dude. Just hit me. Wow.
Don't you mean it's like 2 years ago?
I know, right? It feels that way. Still feels like when everyone was like 2016 is the worst year ever.
Man, those fucking memes. 2016, oh my god, it can't get any worse than this. And it literally has every year since.
In some ways, yeah. I don't know.
2012 was supposed to be like the Mayan calendar ends. It's the end of the world. I feel like the Mayan calendar actually ended at 2016.
Well, or maybe it did actually. The Mayan calendar did end in 2012, and things have just been like we've been living in like bizarro world since. We're not consciously aware of it. Just everything has gone like completely like tits up since then.
Yeah, I think it was you that I mentioned this to, and you were like, what if it did end? Or maybe it was I have a friend, Steve, maybe it was him, who's like, what if the world did end in 2012 and we're in like a weird interdimensional, like, you know how like apparently your life flashes before your eyes, like right before you die?
Right.
We all died in 2012, and this is like the batshit crazy like group conscious dream that humankind is having since then. And that's why it's so fucking weird and like terrible and, and wild.
I buy it.
Yeah.
I buy it. I'm You heard it here, folks. I'm convinced.
The simulation simulation theory, we do live in a simulation, but that simulation is the death dream of mankind.
Yeah.
I like it.
This is actually hell right now. And hell is just like a shared conscious state where we're like Satan has us all plugged into a shit matrix.
Yeah, a shit matrix. And see, the best way to torture people isn't to like, stab them with like iron hot like little stabby devices, or like
hot tridents.
hot steaming hot tridents, or like I don't know, like starve them or let them die over and over again. If I've learned from anything from The Good Place, it's that you just make their lives increasingly more and more uncomfortable and unbearable and unpleasant.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where we are.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. My life is I'm about to be making some big changes in my life, which are kind of. I tweeted about this earlier, and listeners, we'll get into talking about Beast Machines shortly, very shortly here. But I tweeted about this earlier, that to put my how I'm feeling about life right now in television terms, I feel like a season of a long-running show that is my life is about to end. The series has been renewed.
Okay, that's good.
The series has been renewed, but the main character is going to be like off onto a new adventure, and there are 2 main cast members exiting the series, and it's kind of exciting, but there's also something kind of anxiety inducing and sad about it at the same time. Listeners, a 7-year relationship of mine came to an end a few months ago, amicably. There's no animosity or anything. We still get along great. We're still living together, but that's about to change, and she's keeping the cat. So I'm going to be moving out onto my own for the first time in eons. And
do you get the cat on weekends?
So that's exciting, but there's also like a little bit of fear of the unknown, and also just something kind of sad. There's like an underlying sadness to it.
Yeah, I feel that.
But
yeah, my relationship was like 12 and a half, my high school like sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to be dating for some people listening might be like, what the heck? It's weird to be dating somebody from like 16 to like 28. And man, and yeah, I know that fear, how scary it seems. And you're like, man, can I even function without this person?
Yeah, and it's the change is coming. Like, I'm kind of excited about them, but I'm also kind of nervous, kind of afraid.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
because there's a happiness in like knowing where you live, what you can afford, where you work, and all of these things. And when you start mixing up those things, it's freaky, scary, man.
Yeah, it's Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Except
Freaky Friday, you're gonna switch bodies.
Gonna switch bodies with Gary Primal.
He'd switch into your body and be like, oh dude, the biceps, come on.
Oh, god damn it, wrong kind of primate.
And you'll look down and you'll be like, where are my pants?
Megatron is just there like, ooh,
I've switched bodies with Neo Cow. I can't even change into a dragon. All right. Speaking, there's a dragon in this episode, folks.
There is a dragon in this episode.
And there's a Megatron head.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
pick up immediately
Giant
where
Megatron head.
yeah, we pick up immediately where last week's episode ended off. The Maximals are at Megatron's lair, and there's a giant floating Megahead in the sky. I like the fact that Cheetor actually calls it Megahead at one point.
Yeah.
It cracked me up.
Yeah. He's on the same page.
Yeah, he's on the same page. And
But
Rat
it's not-
Trap, it's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything.
Rat Trap initially is like freaking out. He's like, "Oh, we're all gonna die." Wait, why aren't we dying?
Death? Hello?
And the Maximals like kind of wonder like, "Oh, why isn't Megatron like doing anything?" And Gary Primal is like, "I don't even know if he can." Black Arachnia, Night Scream, go check it out. So Night Scream like flies Black Arachnia up to Megahead and tries to drop her onto him, but he's got a force field that knocks her off.
Yeah, it hits both of them at different times.
Yeah.
She turns into a spider and makes a parachute out of her Energon silk.
And
which
as
is kinda
she's
cool.
as she's coming down, we get I should have mentioned when we interviewed Bob Buckley, the composer of this show, a friend of the show, Bob Buckley. We interviewed him on episode 69. Nice.
Nice.
Of Too Much Energon. My favorite piece of music that he does in Beast Machines is the music that plays as she's parachuting down. It's like the Night Scream theme is what I always call it, because the first time we heard it was the episode that introduced Night Scream, and it always played anytime he was like flapping around. It's that music that's like doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle.
Yeah, the one with the diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle
Yeah,
in the background.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
my
heavy like do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Yeah.
yeah, that's my favorite bit of music in this show.
Yeah, I like it.
Night Scream is speaking of Night Scream is falling to the ground. Gary Primal transforms and prime jets into the air and catches him.
Yeah, saves the day. He's even like Optimus, and I'm like, I don't know. It was like an episode ago where you were like, "Oh, thank God that asshole's dead."
Oh, we're gonna get more. I'll bring this up later in the episode, but we're gonna get more bewildering contradictions in Night Scream's behavior.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
I kind of hate Night Scream. And he's not a very well-liked character, from what I understand, amongst the fandom. And I see why.
Yeah,
He's
if
also-
you're listening, comment why you hate. Sorry, even more rare, if you like Night Scream, tell us why. Because I can find 5 things that I don't like with him. But if you like him, give us one thing why you do.
He's also a very badly written character, too. Like, in that his behavior, like, changes on a whim. Like,
It seems like it does.
yeah.
And not in like a hexadecimal, like something's up with their mood, almost like a mental illness kind of way. In a they don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, so the writers just, like, write him to behave a certain way in a scene to just drive the scene forward. Even
to drive the scene, to give some sort of turmoil within the Maximals. It seems like, right?
Yeah,
You
even if like on a scene to scene basis, like even if what he's doing is like completely like contradicts like what he said or done like mere minutes ago in the episode.
Yeah.
And he's
many a time.
And he's the only character like that in this show.
You could completely remove Night Scream from the show.
I wish someone would have.
And I think it would be better. Or in the very least, not change anything. He doesn't add anything, is what I'm trying to say.
No, he definitely doesn't.
So what happens here? The gang goes out to look for, this is kind of a broken record, but they're going once again to try to talk to the Vehicons to convince them to work together. And I'm like, isn't this like the third, fourth time they've tried this?
Well, they tried this last week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so they're trying again because they're like, we need the Viacons help because reasons.
Yeah, I'm like, but
But,
like the
but why? Dot gif.
yeah, the Harold and Kumar like, but why? Like
Marijuana. But why? Oh,
we keep bringing that. We should do a. Oh man, would we dare? No,
a
we
com
couldn't.
a commentary.
I
I would
was
love
gonna
to do
say,
it.
do. You know
I
what?
would.
I haven't seen that movie in a decade. Fuck it.
I actually
Harold and
just
Kumar.
I just watched it recently around Christmas time because like a thing on my Fire TV came up for an ad for Harold and Kumar, the third one, the Christmas one. And I
Yeah.
started watching that because this was on like Christmas Eve, I think.
Mhm.
And I was like several whiskey and cokes in at that point. So I started watching it and I'm like, wait, this is like the worst. This is like the worst out of the three. And I'm like, and I haven't watched the first one is actually like pretty good. And I'm like, I haven't watched the first one in like over a decade. I wonder if that's available on something. Oh, it is. It's on Amazon Prime. Cool. I'll watch that one instead. Some of
And
the
it was
humor
decent.
oh yeah, it's so funny still. Some of the humor is still is kind of dated, as you would
Yeah.
imagine from a movie
Yeah.
from like a crass like stoner comedy
Oh
from like
yeah.
2004. Some of the humor is kind of dated, but um overall still really really funny.
We'll have to add that to the list for sure.
The growing pile.
The growing pile.
I think the next honestly at this point the next too much commentary we should probably do is just do the Matrix Resurrections. So we
Yeah.
just did the first three. We might as well.
Might as well just round it
the
out.
and the fourth one is now like available to rent and whatnot digitally. So we might as well.
So
We
might as well. There you go.
We'll do the Matrix Resurrections like maybe later this month.
See, all of our too much commentary, which is a Patreon exclusive benefit.
Yeah, Patreon.com/lasercomb.
See, it has a theme, right? A logical theme. The Room,
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, and then the Matrix 1, 2, 3, and 4. Duh.
There are lots of movies I want to do commentary tracks for. I want to do Highlander. I want to do RoboCop. I say lots of movies and then I name two because I can't think of any more right off the top of my head.
China.
Yeah, that would be a good
We
one.
mentioned like stuff like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. You
Definitely.
Mortal Kombat. The '60s Batman movie because why not?
Oh, yeah.
I might. I would actually consider like smoking some of the Mary Jane for that one because
sorry, which one?
The '60s Batman movie. Because I don't smoke pot, but I did quite a bit when I was in my late teens, and that movie was always like top tier, like the best movie to watch when you're baked.
Whoa.
For me, yeah. Oh, it's great.
So we're talking about we're not talking a lot about the episode because not a lot really happens this episode. I'm gonna like
okay, so
some of it. Primal stays behind so he can meditate and I don't know, try to talk to Megatron's spirit, and the rest of the gang go look for the Viacons.
Yep,
that's where we're at.
I like when I actually like the bit where Gary is trying to communicate with Megatron and Megatron just like overwhelms him. A bunch of floating Megatron heads.
OG Megatrons.
Yeah.
Head. Yeah.
Yes. Season 1, we get a shot of like Transmetal Megatron's head floating around too.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, how about the stupid Primal?" And he's just laughing and multiplied in the astral plane and like attacking him. And he's like, basically just being overwhelmed by laughing Megatron heads. It's trippy.
And he it's cool. He pulls out of it and he's like, "That was not a sentient mind." And I'm like, what?
Well, what?
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? Isn't it? I guess because you couldn't talk to him, he was just
all like, ooh.
Yeah.
over and over again.
Just
basically.
sound bites. Megatron sound bites. Blast! Ooh-huh. Blah blah blah. Beast Wars once and for all.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that. So while he's fucking around trying to meditate and like figure out what the hell is wrong with Megahead,
Yeah.
the rest of the gang kind of goes to, it feels like a video game level. It's kind of like a giant canal, and they're on one side of it on a ledge.
Yeah, and there's a waterfall there.
And it's like a waterfall. Yeah, it's interesting.
And so they get shot at by our two remaining Viacon heroes, Jetstorm and
Thruster.
Thrust.
Thrusty boy.
So they get shot at by them. And they're like, "Hey, we just want to talk." And the Viacons are like, "Talk? You tried to attack us, motherfuckers."
So at this point, I'm already like, I mean, they're pretty recognizable. What do you mean they tried to attack you? So going into this, I'm thinking that lookalikes attacked them.
Okay.
People, the Viacons made like a really shitty barricade out of like scrap and junk and stuff. They got the Maximals confused with a giant dragon that breathes fireballs.
A giant chonk dragon.
I'm not sure how I feel. Part of me is like, this is a really bad design. And another part of me is like, fat dragon.
Yeah, chonk dragon.
Yeah, so somehow the Viacons, in all their genius, confuse and by the way, it's big, like very big, like bigger than Mega Dragon when he was a dragon. They confuse a dragon with the Maximals here.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah. Good. And they bicker and they do that thing and they go, "Oh, well, there's still part of Silverbolt in you." And he's like, "Hey, lady, I'm my own person. Fuck off."
Something that I took note of earlier that's kind of weird is there's a bit where like every time they talk, it echoes, but it's only the Viacons that echo.
Oh.
Weird.
Maybe because they're just really loud. They yell everything. You're right, though. It is.
Yeah, but yeah, and like the episode like hangs on it too. So like there's no other sound but the Viacon speaking, echoing. Yeah. But it's just them who echoes, and the Maximals are yelling back at them, but they don't echo. Or Black Arachnia echoes once, but not nearly as much.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It was just it was a weird audio cue for me.
So they're bickering, they decide to work together, but not really. And it's like, this is like the 6th time this has happened. Yes, they're not going to work with you. We get that. And when you think you're like, oh, finally, this is the episode where they finally just come over and join them. No, it's not. It's done. Can they please leave this alone? I'm done with them trying to be friends with these guys. They can come and join them in an organic way later on. I'm fine with them joining, but they keep being like, let's go and talk to the Viacons and they'll join us. They've been like edging us with that all the way since season 1.
Right.
Like literally like 6 times where they almost join, but then they don't like Cheetor's the leader. They almost join, but then Jetstorm doesn't like that, like he wants to be his own person. He doesn't want to have to like fill Silverbolt's shoes. And it's like, okay, stop it. It's old. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah. The when Jetstorm is basically being like, "I don't care whoever this Silverbolt pussy was. I'm not him now, bitch." And Rat Trap gets all mad. He's like, hey, Silverbolt was... I don't know why my voice went there for Rat Trap, but... And Silverbolt was my friend. Watch your tongue. And I'm like, you're talking to Silverbolt.
Yeah.
Like it's... Yeah, he's...
Are you defending Silverbolt from his reincarnation?
Yeah.
Also, he wasn't your friend.
No.
He was an associate, but at that he was as much of your friend as say fucking who is the edgy manta ray from Beast Wars?
Depth charge.
Yeah, he's as much as your friend as Depth Charge was.
Who was Silverbolt even friends with other than Black Arachnia, whom he was boning?
Let me think. Silverbolt was friends with. Was he friends with Cheetor, Optimus?
No, because him and Optimus were always at odds with anything involving Black Arachnia.
Right. He didn't have any friends.
No, not really. He
No.
had his girlfriend, but
Yeah.
that's about it. I've
That's
been
about
there.
Yeah.
I know those feels, bro.
So the Viacons, they bicker, they fight, they argue.
We hear a big roar,
There's a
and
big roar.
and Chonk Dragon shows up.
Chonk Dragon shows up.
Dragon Chonk. There we go.
Dragon Chonk. Dragon Chonk Z.
Dragon Chonk shows up and like fucks shit up, and
He's like a dragon with two tails. He only has two front limbs. He kind of crawls the rest of his torso, and he has seemingly no eyes, and he breathes fire, and he's got like a crocodile face.
yeah,
I'll give the designers this. It's unique.
he's kind of horrifying looking.
Yeah,
He looks like a freak of nature.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
A mutant thing.
Yeah, so Cheetor is like, we're not going to kill him because
We don't
we're
know
not
anything about him.
we don't know anything about him, and the Viacons are like, fuck that, and they attack him. And remember last week when Jetstorm was like, join up with you and follow you as the leader? I don't think so. And I was all like, why do you have to assume that Cheetor is the leader? You guys can just work together as a team. You don't have to necessarily follow him. Cheetor tries to give Thrust an order, which I found really weird.
Yeah, he's like, hey, retreat. And Thrust is like, I don't have to listen to you, bub. And he's like, fall back. That's an order. And I'm like,
you have no authority over these guys. Why are you giving orders?
Also, just say it. Say the same thing without saying that's an order. That's like a trigger word for the Viacons. It's like, if you want to guarantee they don't listen to you, try to give them orders. But if you had just said, all right, everybody regroup,
I feel that.
They might have listened.
I am the kind of person, if you like try to like, and I've butted heads with so many people in various workplaces over the years over this. If you try to actually like give me a command, like it will have the opposite effect of what you desire.
Yeah, I've stopped people. Boy, oh boy, have I butted heads, but I'll save that story for another time. But I've got some really good ones. But I've stopped people like mid like power trip and been like, hey, you talk to me like a person, you ask me to help you with something, and I'll do it. But like you're not like the lieutenant general, and you're not gonna like bark orders at me, and I'm not gonna fall in line and say like, yes, sir.
Yeah, you bark an order at me, and all that's going to happen is I'm going to do anything but what you want me to do.
Yeah. Oddly enough, it always comes from people in a different position, but not technically my superior.
Yep.
We're right.
There's someone
like they're trying to act like their position's slightly higher and they can tell you what to do, but it's never the fucking case. Whereas your boss is actually not like tends to ask you to do things. He doesn't tell you to do things. Yeah.
There's a guy that I work with who has tried this kind of shit like here and there with me. I haven't actually like told him off about it yet, but I'm like very close, like next time he tries to do it. But yeah, we technically have the same job title. The only difference is like I've been there 4 years, he's been there like 10.
Right.
That's it.
Because he's been there 10 years.
He has tenure over me.
Let me guess, he's got 10 years over you. The bad joke. But let me guess, he's older too.
No, he's younger than I am.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, I think like 3 or 4 years
Trying to
younger
be
than I
hot
am.
shit.
Yep, trying to be hot shit.
Well, you, me, the Viacons, ask us to help. Don't fucking tell us, man. And indeed, they fuck off. Like, actually. And it's just like, oh, geez, oh, big surprise. The Viacons wandered off on their own. Anyways, there's a bridge. They're running across the bridge now, and they run into a werewolf.
Yep.
Not kidding.
Yeah, because the drag, did they chase the dragon away, or did it just, no, the dragon like flew away.
Does it actually fly? Yeah.
Yeah, it does fly.
It flew away. The chonk dragon flew away.
Yeah, dragon chonk flew away, which was very, to me, very comical looking to see this like really fat dragon with these like relatively small wings just like flapping away.
Yeah, there's some weird magic going on there. I was like, how's that possible? And it's not fast. Like, it doesn't run fast. It didn't get like a speed, like a running start. It's very big and it blows fireballs, though.
Interesting to point out, the sound it makes when it roars is the sound that that Dragon Megatron made in Beast Season 3 of Beast Wars.
Yeah, see, when I was watching this, I'm like, what? There's some fuckery here. Like, did like the dragon form get ripped from Megatron, and Megatron doesn't have a beast mode? Anyways, I'm sure all these questions and more will be answered on Too Much Energon.
They will actually.
Oh shit!
I've talked about it in the like recent weeks, but like I mentioned this last week. A while ago, I kind of cheated on the podcast.
Yeah.
And watched ahead. I think the first like 5 or 6 episodes of season 2 of Beast Machines, because I just got really into it one night, and yeah, it's explained.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they find a wolf.
It's a werewolf looking dude. He's blue.
Yeah. He's kind of cool looking. I like the
You
design.
know what? As much as I'm like, ugh, about the dragon, I'm like, hey, wait a second. I like this guy. I like his design. He's kind of like a blue looking werewolf guy with like yellow accents, yellow spikes like on his elbows, and it's good design.
Yep. And he mentions that like he's all scared, and he mentions his name is Noble, and he doesn't remember what happened, how he got there. He just remembers the big like energy wave, and Night Scream's like, oh, the transformation virus, and we get like a few quick little flashbacks of Cybertron being hit with Megatron's transformation lock virus, and he's like, yeah, I fell down in this cave, and when I woke up I looked like this. And Night Scream's like, man, just like me. He's one of us.
So when that wave happened, some that were hit by the wave, or is it implying that him and Night Scream weren't hit by the wave? They dodged it by falling underground. Is that it?
I don't know. And actually, this is something I was going to bring up because I was thinking about this earlier. I'm still not entirely sure how Night Scream ended up a bat. Like, I know there was.
But we do find out why Noble is a wolf.
Yes.
Sort of? Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I just mean like, and I know there was an episode that like kind of went into Night Scream's backstory, but like I'm still not. Now that I think about it, I'm still not entirely clear like how he who was just a regular like Cybertronian transformer, how he ended up with a beast mode.
I thought that he was like low on Energon and he ate the fruit, this weird fruit from the organic tree that made the Maximals like lose their go bananas, so to speak.
Go hog wild.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he thanked it because he's like, oh, it saved me. And it's like,
I didn't know non-organic transformers with without a organic alt mode. I didn't know they could eat.
Yeah, you're right, because they talk about this on Beast Wars and the Beast Wars IDW comic. Because remember, like Rhinox is like, ugh, what the hell is wrong with you? Disgusting. Can't believe you'd eat organic food, you fucking monster.
Yeah, we have a spin-off of this podcast where we talk about that comic book. It's called Too Much. The podcast is called Too Much Galavar. We got to do a new episode of that soon.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to off air. I wanted to talk about with you the future of that podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so Night Scream's like, yeah, he's one of us. He's just like me. And Noble's like, that's right. Or whatever. I don't know.
And then when they're like making friends with Noble, like the Viacom battle music starts. The dun, 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 dun.
Some of the most iconic music in this show.
Yeah.
And it's iconic because we hear it in every action scene.
Yeah.
In every episode.
And they come in and they're like, woo! And they come in as a motorcycle and a jet, and they're just like shooting up the shadows, everything. Are they shooting at the Maximals or Noble? I can't tell.
Why not both?
Why not both? They're just being shitheads, like Mad Max, like reveling in chaos. And Noble's gone. The Maximals kind of like take cover. They're like, what the heck? And they're gone. And the Viacons drive off too. And I'm like, what?
They're like, none of that Wolfman bullshit.
Yeah, I guess.
I used to read Werewolf by Night, damn it.
So what happens here? They continue looking for Noble, but then, oh, wouldn't you know it, there's a giant like chonk dragon chonk shows up.
Yeah, Dragon
And they're
Chonk.
like, man.
Dragon Chonk is back.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we need to find Noble. He might be in danger. And they're like, well, we got to save ourselves first. There's another chase scene. They run. And Cheetor says some Cheetor bullshit, but this time it's like, oh, what would Optimus do if he was here? And I'm like, I don't know, meditate or like smoke some techno-organic grass. Try to like make peace. One of those things.
Yeah, smoke some peyote
and almost like they summoned him. He's all like, my ears are burning. Did someone say smoke some grass? And Primal does indeed show up.
Yeah, because they find Noble again.
Do they? Yeah, what happens here? They find like Thrust's body. They're walking around, they're looking for it. There's a comical scene you showed me where as they're looking, they split up because the best course of action when there's a monster on the loose is to split up, not stay together.
Yeah, that was Gary's idea.
And
he's like, we'll split up so we can cover more ground.
And when you know it, Rat Trap finds not Noble, but the Viacons call him Savage, the dragon.
Yeah. Gary refers to him as that savage creature.
But the Viacons earlier referred to him as Savage too.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
But yeah, so Rat Trap runs into Chonk Dragon, and I sent Cal a little video clip of this because Rat Trap lets out this like hilarious like scream, and just he has this like very amusing face, which is going to be the show art for this episode.
And
Rat Trap face 2 weeks in a row,
right? Despite the fact he has wheels, there's some great Rat Trap faces. I admittedly didn't like his robot form.
I remember,
the show first started, and no, it's grown on me. I dig it.
I actually really like Rat Trap, both of Rat Trap's forms in this show.
He hides behind like what appears to be Thrust's corpse. And I'm like, you have wheels. Take off, eh?
Take off, eh?
But instead he just goes and he like cowers behind Thrust's corpse. I guess Savage defeated Jetstorm and Thrust at some point.
Right.
And they go up face to face, and you get an up close look of this creature, and if it does have eyes, they're very flat on it. It has like an alligator snout. It's scary. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing looks like it could be like straight out of a Resident Evil game.
Yes.
This looks like
That
this looks like the third mutation of like the
a
final
G
boss.
virus
Yeah,
bullshit.
of like a G virus infected
An alligator.
monster. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah, an alligator was infected with the G virus in the sewers.
But you fight it like several times, and like each time after you beat it, when it shows up again, it like mutates, like
Yeah,
bleeds
just
everywhere,
like
and starts
William
mutating.
Burke.
Just like William Birkin, yeah, in
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2. That's what I'm getting at. This is like
Stage
Birkin's
3
like
Birkin.
yeah, stage 3 Birkin.
But it goes face to face. That's a good screenshot. The face to face shot of them, and it looks at him and he looks at it, and I guess it doesn't like Rat because it just pieces out. Just leaves him alone.
Yeah.
Makes
I was
me
like,
wonder
huh.
why it was attacking them in the first place anyway.
Yeah, I was very surprised why it just fucked off.
But the
Like-
thing is, you could argue, oh, it only attacks if it feels like threatened. But the first time it got the drop on the Maximals and the Viacons, and it just started attacking them, throwing fireballs.
Right.
So I see where the episode is going, but
Yeah, so they like
oh, those are Viacons that are like knocked offline after the shockwave. They're just normal, like thrust bike Viacons. I'm like, what's Thrust's corpse doing here?
Yeah. All the Viacon drones are all offline now, so they would just be littered all around Cybertron. Man, I have gray hair. Holy shit. Sorry, listeners. I'm just like really catching a glimpse of my hair and seeing a lot of grays. Holy shit.
So
they
fight it. They fight it.
Yeah.
Now, something weird happens. I don't know if it's because it's losing energy or because it's getting smaller and smaller and it's about to transform, or if it's just they changed the model size so that they can interact with it better. But it's much smaller now.
It is, yeah.
Did you notice that?
It is. Yeah, totally.
Definitely noticeable. It
Also,
moves
no-
from like actual
also-
dragon size to like alligator size.
Also, when we see Noble again in a few minutes in this episode,
Yeah.
he is way bigger than he was earlier.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he like towers over even Gary.
So yeah, so maybe there's some size things. Do you know what I mean? Maybe when he's like normal, he's a small like wolf boy, and then as he gets angry,
When he
or
hulks
whatever
up.
triggers him, he hulks up and he gets big, and then scary, and then goes back down, transforms, turns into a big wolf, and then keeps shrinking. And there's this kind of like back and forth. Oh, spoilers for like 2 minutes ahead. Oh, Noble is savage.
Okay, so they find Savage or when they're looking for and this is what I mean about Night Scream. So they're looking for Noble, and Gary is like, "Oh, if we find Savage, we need to we can't hurt it. We need to we don't want to hurt it, basically." And Night Scream is like, "Well, I can't promise anything if he hurt Noble." But then immediately, as soon as they run
I'm like,
into
what
this,
do you mean if he hurt Noble? Noble wasn't your friend. You just fucking met him.
yeah. But then, like, immediately, as soon as they run into this thing, like, Night Scream is like, shh, they're there. It's all good. Yeah. Come on, I got
and
some
then
treats for you.
Primal is like, oh, I'll put out my hand and let him smell me. And Night Scream's like, no, let me.
And it's like
and
you were
takes
just
out a little
talking
bag
about
of
like
treats.
fucking this thing up like 10 seconds ago.
I'm glad that you caught that. Yeah, nobody else is like, oh, I can't wait to fuck this dude up for hurting Noble.
Yeah.
Everyone else was just like chill, and now he's all like, no, allow me. And you could argue, oh, Night Scream like could sense that it was Noble. No, he didn't.
No, he
Everyone's
didn't.
fucking surprised. Fuck you, Night Scream. So they like calm it down, and they're like, here boy, and like, yeah, that's right, smell my paw, and then it goes arf arf, and it licks Night Scream's hand, and then like an American werewolf in London, like starts ripping at its flesh, and underneath its dragon exterior is Noble, a wolf man.
Yeah. So we have a
He looked
dragon.
cool when he was half form, when he was the wolf form with the wings. Yeah,
I'm like,
I
yeah.
was like,
I'm like, yeah. That's actually kind of badass.
yeah, can you go halfway? Because that'd be badass.
Right. The Beast Machines version of a Fusor, basically. A wolf man with bat wings.
I mean, it's better than the Fusors we got.
Bird dog and snake bug.
Silverbolt's design is actually it's fine. Can't get around to Snakebug though.
I think Quick Strike is actually like a pretty interestingly designed character. He's just really fucking annoying.
He's annoying, but I think his robot form is too much. Like his whole arm is a snake. That's cool. That's fine, right? But like all of his legs are like the other,
or basically his left hand.
His left hand, and it's clunky and weird.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah.
At Cherry Bomb Toys, they actually have a unopened Quick Strike figure, I think for $90.
Yeah, good luck selling that.
I was considering buying it.
Don't do it, man. It's Quick Strike. You can't make your most expensive Beast Wars figure Quick Strike.
Oh, that wouldn't be my most expensive one, believe me. My actually the one that Christina, shout out to her, Lady Glitch on our Reboot podcast, and my girlfriend.
Oh, you're right. He is huge.
She got me a Transmetal 2 Cheetor inbox that was, I think, $125 US. So yeah, $125 US. So probably like I don't know, like $160 Canadian. So that I think is probably my most expensive Beast Wars toy that I have.
Almost 160. That one's staying in the box.
It is staying in the box, especially since I already have a unopened, or an opened, a loose is the term for an opened action figure.
Oh.
I have a loose Transmetal 2 Cheetor already anyway.
So when she had like messaged me, she's like, check it what I got, like Siege. I was like,
already
has that.
Yeah, already have the figure. It's a wall,
but no, she committed, and
yeah, no, it's great. It's a wall beast is what I call my carded figures that I put on, that I just hang up on the wall. No, it's great.
You're not going to be tempted to open them because you already have one.
Yeah, so I have my loose figure that I can fuck around with, and I have my wall beast that I can actually display.
So what you're saying is you like loose Transformers better?
No, because well, and especially in the case of Transmetal 2 Cheetor, I don't like his robot form all that much.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I do really like his beast mode though, and he's in beast mode in the package.
Oh, in the package?
Yeah. So he's hanging.
Sweet.
He's hanging on my wall right now in package in beast mode. So it's hype, and he's gets to chill out next to my my unopened Cheetor or like Wave 1 or OG Cheetor reissue figure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tale of two Cheetors on my wall is all I'm saying.
A tale of two Cheetors. Oh man. So to wrap up this
So Noble is, so once they figure this out, Noble is like, oh, I'm a monster, and you guys, thank you for helping me, but
look away.
Yeah, you guys should run while you can. I am dangerous. And Night Scream's like, no, I was like you once, and Gary helped me. He'll help you too. And Gary's like, and I'm like, I'm like, you're just volunteering Gary to help this dude. I mean, he will, but
Yeah.
and Gary's like, yeah, I've got, man, we'll go back to my place, and I got a sweet bag of shit that we can smoke, and
He's like, man, and I have my Nintendo set up.
and
Mario Kart, GoldenEye, I got you.
I got a black, I got a black light and a lava lamp, and like I've got I've got every Cypress Hill CD, and
we
like
can play Jet Force Gemini and you could be the dog.
we can play Diddy Kong Racing and listen to Dr. Dre.
Hey, that sounds great. You know what? The next time I stream, I should play Dr. Dre and emulate Diddy Kong Racing.
Go.
That just sounds like a good time. And so Noble's like, well, okay, nah. Nightstream's like, would you do it for a Scooby snack? And they end up convincing him to stick around.
And Noble's like, I don't really smoke the ganja. I prefer blow. You got any of that?
And they're like, whoa.
And they're like, whoa, whoa, dude. Okay. Rat Trap's like, I might know a guy.
I might know a guy who knows a guy. The guy he knows is just Cheetor.
I mean, Cheetor can go like fucking hog wild with like motion blur with those scimitars of his.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're not doing that unless you're on something.
Yeah, he's on ups for sure.
Yeah,
stimulants for sure.
So the
wow,
camera,
he is huge.
Yeah,
Noble?
he's massive, and he wasn't this big earlier. So the camera zooms in on Noble's face, and we get kind of a devious smirk. Well,
we do.
He be up to something.
He be up to something. He got a devious smirk.
All I'm saying is he's got a devious smirk. He turns into a red dragon.
That's it. That's all we got to say about that.
His voice actor is someone very well known to us.
I'm a little sus.
So
I haven't watched any of the following episodes, but I mean, I'm a little sus.
Yeah. So
I think Megahead may be a mega decoy.
You might be on the right mega track there, but we'll find out in the coming weeks.
Yeah. And speaking of mega track, it's time to mega track this up.
All right.
Yeah. Here on Too Much Energon, we have a scale for rating the Energons. It's a 3-pronged scale. It is not enough Energon, a sufficient amount of Energon, to too much Energon. It's basically bad. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Siege. How about Savage Noble?
This gets a sufficient amount of Energon for me. It's kind of a middle of the road episode. There's some interesting stuff that happens, but overall, it's a lot of the characters
running back and forth.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's a lot of the characters running from the dragon, then chasing the dragon, and then running from the dragon again,
and then chasing after Noble, and then Noble disappears, and then wait a second, this isn't Savage. It was Noble all along.
Yeah, so
you know, got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling Maximals.
So yeah, you know that like iconic bit in Scooby Doo,
all the doors in the hallway.
All the doors in the hallway. That's basically what they're fucking doing in this episode.
Yeah,
and like also like fuck, just give up on trying to like sway the Viacons.
I swear to God, if that happens again, I'm gonna go primal.
gonna go full primal.
Full primal.
Um,
Oh yeah, so my yeah.
yeah.
Same-
So yeah,
same-
that's about all I have to say. Also, like Optimus is kind of he doesn't really do anything
he
in this
didn't do
episode.
anything in this one. He just showed up and he was like, "Hey guys, you know how he said what grows in simplicity must start in simplicity?" They're like, "No, you say a lot of weird shit." And he's like, "Okay, but what if what fights in complexity must die in complexity?" And they're like, "Are you high again, dude?"
What if what grows in simplicity grows simply so we can smoke it in simplicity, man? and
I'm just
and
saying, we don't have to fight.
and,
There's
and,
enough techno-organic herb to go
and then
around for
and
all
then
of
Cheetor
us.
just points and is like, ah, ha, ha,
And it's like that 70s show skit where the camera goes around
Yeah.
the table.
Night Scream is just like is like off in a corner with like his wings wrapped around him, and he's like got his eyes bugged out, and he's rocking back and forth, and he's like,
And it
man,
cuts to Rat Trap, and Rat Trap's not doing anything. He's just like, struggling to breathe as he just like quietly like laughs. Yeah, everyone knows that guy.
yeah.
And basically,
Black Arachne is just like how can a wolf be a dragon?
for some reason, I pictured her as Jackie in that 70s show as it like went around, because she would always be like the one asking like these like weird questions. And then it cuts to I was gonna say Saber Wolf from Killer Instinct. Wow. Yeah, fuck it. It cuts to Saber Wolf and he's all like,
You know what? I see it.
do you,
I kind of
Yeah?
see it. Yeah.
okay.
Especially
Yeah,
Saberwolf in the latest Killer Instinct, the one for X-Bone.
yeah. Yeah. Strong was the first Killer Instinct was out when this season came out in Beast Machines.
Oh, totally.
Definitely, yeah.
The first one came out in 95, I think, because it was on SNES. It was on the SNES, and then there was a version for the N64 that came out.
Yeah. Of course they spell Saber Wolf like that. Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Saber Wolf's kind of just a generic Wolfman, right? Okay, well, what are you gonna do? Anyways, oh yeah, right. My rating. Yeah, same thing. Sufficient amount of Energon. Nothing more to say there. It's like 2 minutes of interesting scenes meeting a new Maximal. And like 17, 18 minutes of Scooby-Doo chasing. And it's just like a Viacons, why won't you join us for like the 6th time? This didn't need to be.
But hilarious bit with Rat Trap screaming bloody murder.
Yeah,
That's part of the episode.
Scotty had fun with that one.
All right, well, that was episode 71 of Too Much Energon. Best way to support the show, go to Patreon. Patreon.com/lasercomb, where starting at the $5 and up tier, you get bonus preamble audio from this and all of the other shows that we do week in and week out. We're doing 3 shows per week now, so that's at least a couple of hours of preamble week in and week out, where we kind of shoot the shit. We talk about life stuff. We talk about plans for future podcasting stuff, and
people we fight, medication we take. It's got it all.
yeah, this, that, or the other thing. You also, at the $5 tier, we talked about commentary tracks earlier in the episode. You get those. We've got I think 5 of those out now.
Yep.
At the $10 and up tier, you get our weekly news and current events program, Lasercomb Tonight, and you also get a pick a show for us to basically do what we just did about on another one of our podcasts, the Lasercomb podcast, where we review random episodes of TV shows. If you want to pick a TV show for us to review a random episode of. $10 patrons get to do that right now. Time of recording, we're doing all patron sponsored shows. So if you want to get in on that, patreon.com/lasercomb. Social media, go to Facebook, facebook.com/lasercomb. Once again, LAZORCOMB. Central hub for this and all of the other podcasts we do. On Twitter, you can follow the show proper at Too Much Energon, or you can follow me at Lasercomb, spelled the same way that I just spelled it twice. Cal, you have Twitter as well, yes?
Yeah. I'm NeoKal, NEO_KAL. I guess somebody else swiped the name without the underscore.
How dare they?
How dare.
It was probably you like 10 years ago.
It was probably me 10 years ago, and I can't log in.
You just don't remember.
Yeah.
We will be back next week with episode 72 of Too Much Energon, where we're going to be covering the third episode of season 2 of Beast Machine's Prometheus Unbound. So keep an eye out for that. And until then, I've been one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I'm your other host, NeoKal.
And until next week,
what grows in simplicity. Simplicity. Write that down.
But how does a dragon turn into a wolf?
What if there's no such thing as dragons or wolves? What if we could all turn into a dragon?
What if we are all wolves right now? We just need to figure out how to unleash our inner dragons.
Unleash the dragon! A wolf. I'm definitely not a wolf. I sound completely different.
Wolf man. Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.